craziness, but I think now that I'm married, it's a lot easier. And you may not die from it. You could more likely die from something else. They told me that I would die in 10 years.
I dropped everything for Pam. She had almost $200,000 in bills and no way to pay it.
It's nice to be with like a real man.
What's up, guys? It's Jason here, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Celebrity Insight. Born in British Columbia, Canada, Pamela Anderson is one of the most beautiful and popular female entertainers of our time. She's also had her trials and tribulations over the years, but is doing just fine nowadays. Now in her 50s, Pamela is still one of the vixens that new models and actresses look up to. Her fearlessness and bold attitude are what make all of us love her. So what's going on with Pamela Anderson in 2021 and 2022? Today, we'll uncover Pamela Anderson Tommy Lee, learn about the past and the present day and future happenings of the woman who has acquired the household nickname, the Blond Bombshell. I guarantee you'll be surprised that Pamela is so famous for so many of the things that you probably weren't even aware of. But first, if you wouldn't mind just tapping that like button for the YouTube algorithm, I'd really appreciate it. The more engagement a video like this gets, the more likely the YouTube algorithm is to push it out for more people to enjoy, and as this is a brand new channel, it helps me out a ton and it's free to do. If you love Drop Dead Gorgeous Woman, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for new videos each week. Thanks for doing that, and now let's continue on with what really happened to Pamela Anderson for the true Pam and Tommy story. A little about Pamela's entertainment history. Unless you've been living under a rock for the past several decades, you know that Pam's personal life has sometimes outshined her life as a celebrity. Most of us who loved the 1990s remember her as an extremely sexy lifeguard, CJ Walker, from the beloved show Baywatch. If you're not that old, then you've very likely seen her in other areas of her work. For example, Pam has the title for the most Playboy magazine covers ever. Guess how many that is? Pam Anderson has appeared on 14 Playboy covers. By the way, if you haven't seen yet, check out my video on the rise and fall and rise again of Playboy. It was my second YouTube video and one of my personal favorites. Pam's first one was in 1989 before she even got her role on Baywatch, and she made the cover again and again, each time looking more stunning than before. Pam broke the record in 2011 after making the cover of the iconic men's magazine 13 times, and was actually the very last model to pose completely naked for pictures in the magazine in the fall of 2015 when the publication changed its nudity rules. Pam has always gotten attention for just being herself. For example, when she was 7 years old, the Canada native became a gymnast, did multiple advertisements in her late teens and early 20s, then landed a role on the sitcom Home Improvement in 1991. Anyone remember Home Improvement with Tim the Tool Man Taylor? After that, her career took off. Starring in Baywatch, she made a movie appearance in the mid-1990s in a film called Raw Justice, and landed another of her most important movie roles in Barbed Wire a couple of years later. Pam's multiple husbands. After 2.5 decades of marriage, Pamela Anderson had eloped 5 different times. Here are her past hubbies. Dan Hayhurst. On Christmas Eve of 2020, the 53-year-old diva married a bodybuilder named Dan Hayhurst. The pair were married in a private ceremony at the same home where her parents were joined in holy matrimony, the house she bought from her grandparents many years ago, and she told People magazine that she feels like she's exactly where she needs to be in life with him. Dan is actually her bodyguard, and according to the HITC, he doesn't have a public Facebook, Twitter, or any other social media account. He's apparently a really private person compared to Pam, so I guess opposites really do attract. John Peters. The marriage to John Peters, who is over 20 years older than Pamela, was not a legitimate one, according to sources. She disputed it to USA Today, saying that it was really just a whirlwind type of a relationship, and that they had never been physically involved, just really good friends. John told reporters that he had been in love with Pam for over 30 years and that as a successful movie producer, he could have chosen any pretty lady he wanted. But Pam was just the apple of his eye. Still, the union between the two longtime friends, of which John never officially filed paperwork for, only lasted about 2 weeks. Rick Salomon. Pamela married Rick twice, and he reportedly wanted to get back with her again a third time. Each marriage lasted about a year, the first one starting in 2007 and ending in an annulment in 2008. The second one was in 2014 and ended in a divorce a year later. Rick was a popular poker player, is just a year younger than Pam, and is also known for the beep tape that he made with Paris Hilton that was called One Night in Paris. Tommy Lee. This was Pamela's first husband, and they got married after just a few days of initially meeting each other. Although the drummer from the band Motley Crue ended up doing several months in jail at the end of the marriage for being violent towards her, the couple had 2 sons together, one named Dylan and the other Brandon. They were married in 1995, made a beep tape online, split up, got back together in 2001, split up again, then lived together again in 2008 before breaking up again. Talk about a whirlwind. Whew! By the way, that beep tape was actually stolen from them, then released online. But apparently, a series about it and their up-and-down relationship is going to be made into a TV series in 2022, according to reports. Pam's past money problems. Like many other celebrities, Pamela Anderson has had her run-ins with the IRS. She has told the public in recent years that she was not purposefully avoiding them in any way, and that the situation of her tax debt was both embarrassing and out of her control. The worst years of her money problems were seemingly between 2009 and 2012. This is when the 2 tax liens came about, which totaled over $350,000. And the IRS put a claim on her home, a residence that she was eventually forbidden to sell. It was in 2011 that she was hit with both the $260,000 and the $112,000 liens, and it was actually not her first time being in trouble with the agency. After being such a huge star for so many years, her fans were undoubtedly confused as to how Pam could actually be in trouble tax-wise. But when ABC News reported it in 2010, everyone knew that it was official. In the spring of that year, they exposed her for being one of the most tax-delinquent people in the entire state of California, and that she owed over $490,000 in income taxes. It was then that the actress/model joined the ranks of other celebs who had been audited, such as Wesley Snipes and Nicolas Cage. In 2009, it was also bad for her financially, being that the Baywatch star had made the top 500 delinquent taxpayers list that year. Experts indicate that, many times, celebrities are simply put in the company of money handlers who give horrible monetary guidance and management. This is very likely why she was still loved in the public eye, without a whole lot of critical judgment from her fans. Even when the IRS dropped that total lien against her for $1.7 million in 2010. Pam did have some adequate legal help come her way via her reputable tax attorney. His name was Robert Leonard, and he made it clear to reporters that she was to clear up all the issues with the IRS by the spring of 2009. But when publications like the LA Times tried to contact him, he was not available for comments. Leonard still stated that she was currently on a payment plan with California at the time, and overall, the tax issues didn't seem to tarnish her image too much. Still, there were some reports that indicated that Pam had actually gotten some help paying off her debts from a recent love interest, John Peters. The two were friends for decades before their unofficial union, and according to the Mercury News, John was actually set to be married to someone else when Pam asked him to elope. The famed Hollywood producer walked away from his engagement to his fiancée and proceeded to pay around $200,000 of Pam's debt off before the 2-week marriage ended. Wow, talk about a sugar daddy. He later admitted to reporters that he felt like a fool for doing it. Go figure. Pamela's health issues. Pamela Anderson made the barbed wire tattoo on her left arm famous in the mid-1990s and has had more work done since then. One of the most popular tats is a pretty design on her lower back that she showed off with no caption and on an Instagram post a few years ago. And another of her well-known ink jobs was done when she and former husband Tommy Lee were wed. The pair got each other's names on their ring fingers instead of real rings, but later on Pam said that it was a tattoo needle that gave her the disease hepatitis C. The famed blonde actress said that she actually got the disease from sharing a needle with Tommy, but it is unclear whether or not the inked wedding bands were what infected her. According to WebMD, hepatitis C is a liver disease and is regularly caused by tattoo needles. When tattoo artists don't sterilize their needles correctly, a person has a large chance of being infected. Being that it is a deadly disease, Pam was scared in the beginning when doctors told her she only had a decade to live.
They told me that I would die in 10 years.
But in 2015, she went along with an experiment with a drug that could possibly be the cure, called Sovaldi. The full medical name of it is sofosbuvir Sovaldi. Sorry if that pronunciation was bad. And medical professionals indicate that a person needs to only take a single dose of it daily to be cured. It was created by Gilead Sciences and has hardly any side effects, so Pam decided to go along with the risky treatment.
I took 2 pills a day for 3 months, but if you had type 1, for instance, you'd only take 1 pill a day, and you may only need to take it for 8 weeks. I took mine for 12 weeks.
The treatment she went through took 12 weeks, according to ABC News, and her fans were relieved when she told reporters that after the death scare she had been announced, she was cured by the doctors.
Thursday last week, I took the test, and Friday, they told me I was cured.
By then, Pam had lived with hepatitis C for a decade and a half and felt like she'd gotten a second chance at life when the medical trial had actually worked in her favor. There was also another minor scare for Pamela having cancer. It was reported by the National Enquirer, a publication that has been infamous for fabricating reporting over the years, but her fans were still worried about her health nonetheless.
About 10 years in, they said that you could live your whole life with this disease, and you could get liver cancer, you could all these horrible other things.
What the magazine was trying to say is that the treatment for her previously acquired disease, hepatitis C, was what made her susceptible to actually getting cancer, but the rumors were short-lived. The Canadian-born actress and model has been consistently healthy over the past several years. It wasn't like she didn't go through the proper testing procedure when she and Tommy Lee were married, but he simply never told her that he had hepatitis C, and she suffered mentally and physically for years, long after they had broken up. Initially, she was told that there wasn't a cure for it, and when that beep tape with Tommy hit the public, Pamela got a large amount of scrutiny for being promiscuous and that her sexual habits had something to do with her getting sick. Pamela Anderson's life today. And that brings us to today. Pam is just as happy as she can be with her new husband Dan, and she was not shy about showing her fans how joyful she is these days. In fact, the Blond Bombshell actually posted a video with them in bed not long after their wedding. She explained that the wedding ceremony was purposefully private and that they just fell for each other during her pandemic lockdown at the residence.
We're here. We had a really beautiful, quiet ceremony, and our witnesses were the First Nations people that came to do a cedar blessing on us.
Pam says that she feels lucky because her parents are still together after all these years after being married at that same house. She feels that her new marriage was magical and that her life has come around full circle this time.
On the property, this is like the magic place to live, I guess. He was working here, and I got stuck here during COVID, and we stuck together.
We're all glad that she's now living her best life, happy and healthy. She sold her custom house in Malibu Beach for $12 million, and then there's also a new TV series coming out on Hulu in 2022 named Pam and Tommy, which should be really exciting. I'm definitely looking forward to that. So, with that said, thank you so much for watching my video. There was a significant amount of research and production that went into making this video possible, so if you wouldn't mind leaving the video a like and leaving a comment in the YouTube section below, it really helped me out a ton. What are your memories of Pamela Anderson? Did you know she was famous for so many things? Be sure to check out some of my other videos like the rise and fall of Bruno Mars and the rise and fall of Britney Spears. Thanks again for watching, and stay tuned for another episode of Company Insight next week.